Hey crafters, Lisa here from Fun Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. So it's beginning to look a little bit like Christmas, and so I thought we would start out some Christmas tutorials with making a cute little wooden Christmas present. So I hope you stay tuned for this tutorial, but before we get there, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. We call it Inspiration Friday because I try to do some type of project every Friday just to inspire you to create. So I really hope you stick around. I'm gonna get my camera angle changed. I'm gonna meet you over at my table and we are gonna get making. Okay crafters, let's get going on this project. So these are just so cute, and I am just upcycling a piece of scrap wood when I made these. So this is just a piece of 4x4 that I got out of our shed, but you can definitely go to your local lumber store, okay? And then I'm also using a little bit of the buffalo plaid ribbon for it. I've got a cute little bow. Now, I was thinking on this one, I might actually use some of these pine cones and berries on top. So we'll just play it by ear and see what we end up doing. And then for this cute little wagon, you guys, that's on here that I just think is darling, I found these napkins at Home Goods. And the nice thing about these napkins, if you take one out and you open it up, sometimes when you buy a napkin, it's only got the design in one place. Well, I was so pleasantly surprised when I opened up this napkin because it is in, whoops, I can't even get it open. It's in all 6 spots. So there is so much that we can do with these designs. And so I've got one that I've already cut out with, so we're gonna start with that. I'm going to use some Mod Podge. I always say that wrong and people always correct me. So I'm using the matte finish Mod Podge. I'm going to use a foam brush for the Mod Podge. I'm also going to use some white acrylic paint to give my block a whitewashed look. And so I've got another foam brush for that. I've got a sanding block, and I'm going to use that just to smooth out the edges of my block. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move my stuff off to the side here so we have a good clean workspace to start with. And what I like to do, the very first thing, you guys, is take my sanding block and I just go through and smooth out all the edges. Now I've already done it on this one, so I've just taken my sanding block and went around the edges just to smooth it out. Now if you have an electric sander, those work out just great, okay? Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I like to have my paint, and I just use paper plates, you guys. I just dump a little bit on the paper plates. And all we're gonna do is kind of what I call dry brush this. We're not gonna paint it all the way, okay? I just wanna give it a whitewashed look, okay? Now you definitely can paint it completely, you guys. That's totally your preference. You could even pick a different color. So it's just what you guys decide that you want to do with your Christmas gift that we're gonna be putting together here. I just love using these for just display. I have them on my entryway table when you walk into the house. They would look really cute on a tiered tray. So all kinds of different things you can do. Now for the top, depending on how you want to finish your top, you might want to give this a little bit more paint. You can definitely see the cut of the wood in this. In fact, I need to pick up a little bit more paint. And then you guys, the one thing I didn't mention that I do have off behind me warming up is my heat gun. Now I find that it works really nice to use the heat gun to adhere the ribbon that we're going to be putting, okay? So I'm just going to, and again you guys, I'm not doing it perfect, okay? And I'm just going to go through and check it and see what I like, okay? So as easy as that with the paint, you guys. So it's just that whitewashed look. Okay, so we're going to put that one off to the side right now. And I happen to have some handy wipes just handy right next to me. I'm going to take those and wipe off my hands a little bit. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to use that same, excuse me, not that same. I'm going to use the other foam brush, okay? And what we're going to start working on is putting our napkin on, okay? So what I do with the napkin is I already had one that I had used. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Now these napkins are 2 layers, so it's really important that you separate, and look, Lisa's already done that on this one. So I want to show it to you on the full one, okay? So if you look at the napkin, there is 2 layers to it, okay? So you want to make sure you pull off that other layer, okay? So since I've already done it to that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut one of these off for me to use, okay? Now, my whole wagon is not going to fit, so I kind of just like to play with it and see what it's going to look like, okay? So do I want the wheels on? Do I want the tree on? I actually like it when I can get most of the tree on, okay? So then, this is a little trick I've learned, you guys. Before we do the Mod Podge, I have got a cup full of water and a Q-tip, okay? And I'm just going to take my Q-tip and I'm just going to go around the edges of where the wood is, okay? You can definitely cut these, but I just like having the soft edge when I get ready to do my Mod Podge, okay? So I'm just taking the Q-tip and I'm just going around the edge here. And then what you can do is you can very gently pull your napkin away, okay? And then you've got a softer edge on your napkin. So see, I'm gently, and if you need to add some more water, you definitely can. And see how it's just gently pulling away. Okay, so then I've got a napkin. Now it's still a little bit bigger, which is perfectly fine, okay? So we're going to wipe off that little mess there. We're going to put our cup off to the side, okay? Now we're going to grab our Mod Podge and we are going to grab our paintbrush, and what I'm going to do is I am going to apply. I had another layer on there, you guys. Wow, didn't even realize that. Those must have been triple layers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and I'm just going to give it a good even layer. Okay, so I just want my napkin to adhere. Okay, and then I'm going to gently place it back on. Okay. How cute is that, you guys? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Mod Podge, I'm going to go around the edges, and I just want to make sure all those edges are down. Okay, so I'm just taking the Mod Podge and adding it to all the edges. Okay, pretty easy so far. And you guys, when you're out and about in the stores, look at the different napkins. It's so fun, and some of the designs. Because you know, you guys, I'm doing this for Christmas. You could do this for any season you wanted. It doesn't have to just be Christmas. But 'tis the season to do some decorating. So I thought this would be a fun one to put together for you guys. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very carefully add some Mod Podge to the top. Okay. And I'm trying not to make sure that nothing tears. Okay. And then what we need to do, you guys, is we need to let this dry. Okay. Had a little air pocket bubble piece there. Okay. So I'm just going to let that one dry. Okay. And then I will join you back in just a little while once this one is all dry. But I'm going to put my Mod Podge away. Okay. And we're going to let this guy dry, and as soon as it is all dry, I'll be right back with you. Okay, so you guys, I'm all back and I am all dry. It is really nice and it's ready to go. So quick little tip that I wanted to share with you is I actually put this in the oven to dry. So at 250 degrees, I left it in there for about 5 minutes and it dried really nice. So just an easy way to do it a little bit quicker if you want to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate it. So here was my original one. And I've got the ribbon around it and the little bow. But this one I think I want to do just a little bit differently. So what I did is I grabbed my ribbon. I've already measured out a piece, okay? And so what I did is I just made sure that this is going to fit just right around the top of it, okay? Now, if you don't want to use your glue gun here, you definitely don't need to. What I like to do though is I like to just have it stay nice and tight there. So I'm going to grab my glue gun and I am just going to put a bead of glue right there and right there. And then I just pull it and don't want to touch it too much because it's a little hot with the glue, right? But that way I know that's going to stay just right there. And then if I go to the other side and I do the same thing, I'm just putting a bead of glue down here. That way it just pulls it tight. Kind of like you'd have if you had a package, right? Okay, so now I've got both of those done, okay? And then I'm just going to put another bead right at the top. Now, just like when we're wrapping presents, we always like to have a finished edge. So not that anyone will probably see it, but I just folded that over. I'm going to put a little bead of glue on for my glue gun right there. And there we are. Look at that. Okay, so easy as that. We've got it covered with this cute little ribbon. Okay. Now what I thought would be cute is instead of using my little bow I have here, I thought it might be fun to make a bow out of this same type of ribbon. So I am just going to play with this here and see if I can come up with a bow that I'd like to use. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off, just say about right there. Now, a little trick I learned is I picked up these little mini zip ties and they work so great. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fold this about like that, I think. I want ends to be able to come out. So let's think about this for a second, Lisa. Okay, let's change our mind there. Okay, I'm going to clip that a little bit off. If anybody is really good at making bows, please leave me a note down below on a great way to make bows because I always struggle with it. I love putting bows on my stuff, but I find what I do is I buy pre-made bows. Okay, so see how I just did that zip tie right there? It got it nice and tight. I didn't need anybody to hold it for me. And so then I'm going to pop that bow out. Actually, this one's turning out pretty cute. Okay, so I've got my bow made. I can put my bow right on top. How cute will that look? Okay, and if I wanted to add some ends, I definitely could. In fact, you know what, you guys? We're just going to play with it. So I got a little bit left there. So let's just clip that. And then what I like when I'm doing my bows is I like to have that cute little finish. So I'm just going to fold it in half, and I just cut triangles out. So see? So I'm going to put those on first, and I think I'm going to put them at a tad bit of an angle, okay? So all I'm going to do once again is I'm going to add some glue, okay? This is definitely one we're just making as we go, you guys. Never know how it might turn out. Okay, and there is a little bit of wire in this ribbon, okay? And then I'm going to put my bow right on top. Good amount of glue there. Okay, got that there. I'm gonna hold it for a minute because I have really got, look how cute that is looking, you guys. Okay, and then out of my little notions that I had, pick these up, I've got some little berries. So let's just see, let's just keep adding to this guy a little bit, okay? So I'm going to just put another bead of glue in there. Okay. And add a berry on top. Oh, this turned out cute, you guys. Never know what I might end up with doing. And I think we are just about good to go there. So let's show you guys that guy up close. How cute is that? So I will give you a front view and I'll put both of them together so you guys can check it out and let me know which one you like the best. The original one, or the one we just made on camera. So hope you enjoyed this Inspiration Friday, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And stay tuned for more holiday type tutorials that we'll be doing through the month of December.